Today on Twin City Wrestling. A Ragin' Cajun versus a Spicy Cuban. Dazzlin Dick visits Steentopia. Michael Rave dances with the Muscle Beast. Future legends of wrestling attempt to settle a grudge.
I'm Adria Young, and welcome back for another dose of TCW on Eastlink TV. We found a way to squeeze 12 of Atlantic Canada's top wrestlers into a 1-hour television episode, and you've tuned in at just the right time to catch it all. We start with what's become a bit of a feud between a small guy and a big guy. Angry Acadian giant Remi Petit battled Cuban luchador Julius Fantana in one of our early episodes. TCW boss Cyril Richards put them back in the ring for another go, and their second encounter has become the stuff of legend. Don't take your eyes off the screen, because something astonishing is about to happen. Let's go ringside to the TCW Sanctuary in Dartmouth, where Scott Simpson's calling the action.
Thanks, Adria. Welcome back to the TCW Sanctuary, the Dartmouth Sportsplex, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. That's Mr. 450 Julius Fantana, crowd favorite. A man at home on the top rope as much as he is at home in Little Havana, Cuba. So to set up this match for you, we have a gigantic guy called Petit versus a small guy from Cuba. Petit insists people speak French. And Fantana there likes to have a little fun in the act. We're officially underway. Now, the last time these two faced off, Fantana got the better of the big man.
I don't speak idiot! I didn't hear you.
Perhaps yelling at Remi Petit to speak English is not the best strategy for the crowd if they don't want to make him angry, although they might want to make him angry. Yeah, these guys in the front row don't mind one bit yelling jambon at the big game. They lock up. No surprise there when it comes to strength and size. Remi Petit is going to have the advantage. Fantana's treating Remi Petit like the Pillsbury Doughboy, threatening to poke him in the belly and make him giggle. They went to lock up. Fantana's a little too quick. Ducks under the legs of Remi Petit. Quick leg trip brings the big man down. Fantana uses gravity to his advantage too often. Full body tackle into the corner, tries to whip him out. Like trying to drag a 300-pound boulder across gravel. Elbows to the chest, trying to soften him up. A kick to the leg. Petit has no trouble whipping Julius Fantana into that corner. Well, they've made him mad now. The referee's insisting that Petit let him out of the corner. Yes, perhaps after taking his head off with his butt. Remi Petit has the momentum so far. Tries to get a 3 count, can only get one. Dartmouth's going to take more than a few stomps and a butt to the face to eliminate him from the tournament. The ref's counting in English. That's frustrating to see. That'll take the wind off our old friend. Petit says instead of killing him, perhaps he'll eat him instead. I don't think Remi Petit has missed many moves. Here's a wear-down hold. This works on the nerves and the trapezius muscles. It'll give him a headache in a hurry if he doesn't already have one from being draped across the ropes and virtually crushed by the 300-pound Acadian, hailing from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Crowd's getting behind Julius Fantana, hoping he can mount some kind of offense. Ducks a clothesline, comes off the ropes, drops down, throws some knuckles up at Remi Petit. Follow us on Twitter. Remi Petit's on Twitter. You can read what Remi Petit says about daily life. He does write in English more than French, I think. Basically sitting on his opponent. The ref says you can't do that. Kicks his feet off. As much as I appreciate the ref wants to enforce the rules, but I don't think he should be putting his hands or his feet on the wrestlers. Fantana comes in, gets caught in full Melson, into a massive bomb. Quick correction, it's not a full Melson, it's a full Nelson. Phil Nelson, a full Nelson. That was full marble. 1, 2, and Fantana kicks it. Trying to come back here, but a double sledgehammer to the upper back takes him back down. Petit's getting that look at his face. Big body slam with authority. Petit off the ropes. Oh, he calls that one the deportation frustration. Flattens Julius Fantana like a pancake. There's the butter. Gets a shoulder up at 2. Petit goes for another attempt. Put a bit more weight on it. Exchanging strikes between Remi Petit and Julius Fantana. Sends him off the ropes. Ducks under. Comes off. Tries a cross body. Again, gravity's not working in his favor in that one. Remi Petit grabs him. Samoan drop. Oh, he's looking hungry now. Looks like he's stalking Julius Fantana. Plays on him, goes for 3 count, gets 2, or 2. The rowdies in the crowd appreciate the wrestling that they're seeing here. It's the kind of thing you really have to see in person. Lines him up full force. Oh my gosh! What just happened? Remi Petit, did he break the ring? Remi Petit sent Julius Fantana across the ring with such force, we can see it right there. The top rope snapped right off the steel post. This definitely has to give Remi Petit an advantage because Julius Fantana is famous for coming off that top rope. A good portion of his offense involves the ropes. Spins off the ropes, jumps off the ropes, bounces off the ropes. Without those ropes there, what is Julius Fantana going to do? The referee temporarily distracted while Remi Petit goes and strangles Julius Fantana with that top ring rope. That is astonishing. What is Julius Fantana going to do? Tries to come back with some strikes. Spinning kick is able to level Remi Petit. He doesn't seem to have a lot left in the tank, or does he? Goes for the cover, a little slow to grab the leg. Petit has enough energy to power his way. Fantana back to his feet. He looks hurt. Is he going to give some kind of kick? Comes at him. A spinning kick misses. Remi Petit charging from the corner. Whoa! To the ring post. Rolled up by Fantana. Gets the 3 count. Mr. 450 is 2-0 against the Acadian Giants.
Winner, Mr. 450, Julius Fantana.
Well done, guys. Julius Fantana leaves Remi Petit frustrated. See that again. Whips him across the ring with authority. Snaps that top turnbuckle. Steel against steel right off that hook. Leaving Julius Fantana in a crumpled heap. If you caught the look on the eyes of Remi Petit, you saw how excited he was to see that. Let's take a quick break. Back with more Twin City Wrestling on Eastern.
All right, let's find these guys for this 6-man tag interview before they have actual tag match. Okay, we're here with the Owens brothers and Mark Maverick to do this interview before this 6-man tag. Rick,
Hey!
how do you feel?
Are you filming us?
Yeah,
Hey,
we're doing
delete that. Delete that right now.
You didn't see it.
We might need to go. Can we do an interview with you guys right now? Cyril the boss said to come down and do an interview with you guys.
Hey, who's what we think of Cyril the boss? Don't you mention his name in front of us. He's a piece of crap.
Third one. Hey, all I know is last time, those dummies that were running around with that idiot boss that calls himself Cyril Steer attacked this guy by himself when they barred us from the building. Well, tonight, Rod's here. I'm here. Maverick's here.
And we
just bailed Reg out. Tonight, Sexy Phoenix, Max Power, and that Saint guy. They're going down.
Dunzo. You heard it from Rick and Rod.
And never forget the R&R Express. You get out of here, that stupid mustache.
Who is this guy? I got it.
Adria Young here with more Twin City Wrestling action. It's time for a title match. TCW Heavyweight Champion Dazzling Dick Durning has been facing tough competition from every corner of the locker room. Some of the matches have been close, but he's been able to hold on to the gold when the bell rings. Let's find out if he can survive a challenge from one of the most experienced wrestlers around, Lincoln Steen. Back to the TCW Sanctuary in Dartmouth and the call from Scott Simpson.
Thanks again, Adria.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next contest is set for one fall.
Rod is going to take us into this
Weighing in at 223 pounds from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Lincoln Steen!
Here comes a guy fans love to hate. He likes to run his mouth. He's a dude with big hair. He does have a few fans, obviously. Some fans with Lincoln Steen pillows. Imagine going to sleep with that guy. How that big nasty hair gets up. Lincoln Steen dismisses his own fans as ridiculous. Steen hails from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, but he won't stop talking about some mythical land of Steentopia. Prime Minister? Not like that.
Weighing in at 225 pounds, your TCW Heavyweight Champion from Hollywood, California, Dazzling
For Dazzling Dick Durning, probably from those Steen fans in the front row. This guy's been a true fighting champion. Saw him in our first episode in a really tough match against Sexton Phoenix from Halifax. I have to wonder if Dazzling Dick's shoulder has ever recovered from that match. Certainly able to hoist that belt over. Proud of being the Twin City Wrestling Champion. Taking that title all over the Maritimes. Never turned down a challenge. We saw him a while back face his friend Julius Fantana. Those two had an incredible match. And they were able to shake hands afterwards. I don't think we'll see any such sign of respect from Lincoln Steen. Steen reminds me of that kid in school who would whine about what everybody else is doing, and then when nobody's looking, misbehave. Don't be surprised if you will. That's the belt that everybody wants. Don't be surprised if you see him appealing to Mr. Referee to enforce rules that he's been breaking. Steen grabs a side headlock, one of his favorite moves. He can transition from there into a variety of moves. Durning escapes into a top wrist lock, putting pressure on the shoulder joint and the elbow. What was I just saying? Steen tells the referee that Durning was pulling his hair. When the ref goes to check, grabs Durning's hair. I don't want to sound judgmental, but it's true. Durning has a side headlock on Steen, who takes him into the corner, forcing the referee to break the hold.
2, 3, let's hear it for Steen, baby!
Now, if you're brand new to TCW, you may look at these two and think Dazzlin Dick Durning, the champion, is just going to mop the floor with this Lincoln Steen. I don't think so. Durning's a big guy, he's taller, more muscular. Steen, however, has a ton of experience. He has wrestled all over Canada. He's been trained by some of the best. He knows all the dirty tricks. Didn't know to move to the side to avoid that shoulder tackle. Goes for a hip toss, is reversed, thrown to the mat. Dick Durning with a lariat that takes Steen off his feet. Durning comes off his feet with a gorgeous drop kick. Goes for the cover. Only gets a 1 count. Durning's able to pop up. Tossed into the corner. Durning follows up. Gotta watch for Dick Durning's knees at any given moment. He can fly with those knees and just take somebody's jaw, shatter it. Same with those uppercuts. You can find people like Dick Durning and Lincoln Steen on our Facebook page, facebook.com/TCW Promotions. Durning takes Steen around the ring for a tour and introduces him to the turnbuckles. Steen takes a moment to give it right back to Dick Durning with a solid boot to the ribs. Knocks the wind out of the champ. Steen goes further to try to take the wind out of the champ. Chin lock. He has those hands firmly grasped under the chin of the champion, Dazzlin Dick Durning. He's confident that he's going to be the next champ. Durning elbows his way out of that, comes off the ropes for some speed. Is met by the extended arm. Steen goes for the cover, gets 1, gets 2. That was not even close to it. Durning sucking wind at this point. Those shots to the ribs and lower back. have a cumulative effect of dampening his ability to get oxygen. It's starting to get a little red. Steen cutting off any offense. Going for a suplex. There you go. Perfectly executed. Blood is rushing to Dick Durning's head. It's going to make him dizzy. Steen's as smart as we know he is. He's going to go for a pin right now. Instead, he's soaking in some rare applause. Can't help but think that if he'd tried just a second sooner, he might have been able to take it. Holds Durning down with a double chin lock. With a knee to the back. So he's stretching out the neck.
You're looking at your next champion.
Dazzlin tells the ref he's not going to give up with that. Steen turns him around. Trying to keep him down on the mat. He's almost smothering him. The referee will do a good job of checking up close, make sure those hands aren't covering him. Dazzlin fights up. Elbows to the midsection. Went to run off the ropes, but Steen already had a handful of Durning's hair. And tries to tell the referee, no, it's just a simple palm on the forearm. 2 count. I honestly don't know why Lincoln Steen tries to get the crowd to agree with him. The crowd isn't the one who makes the count. Body slam. And Steen says he's going up. I've seen him have mixed success, often comes off with a knee. Gives it a shot. Didn't work this time. If Dazzlin can capitalize on this opportunity, maybe start working on the knees of Lincoln Steen. That may be his entree toward the end of this match. Takes the champ into a reversal. Big clothesline. Follows up with a second. Oh, that is called the Hollywood Walk of Shame. It's a clothesline into a backbreaker. Flying elbow. Durning bulldogs his opponent headfirst into the second turnbuckle. Comes off with a moonsault. Calls that combination. Ooh, I thought he had it. He calls that combination the Bukkake Crunch. I don't invite you to look that up. Durning sends Steen to the ropes. Put his head down too early. Went for a backdrop, but Steen saw it. Reversal. Facebuster. What is he doing? Rolls him up in a crucifix. Gets the 3 counts. Dick Durning shows his disrespect to the Lincoln Steen fans. Climbs up on the second rope.
TCW Heavyweight Champion, Dazzling Dick Durning.
Durning stares right at that small cluster of Lincoln Steen fans and plays his championship belt like an electric guitar. Tough loss for Lincoln Steen. He has lobbied hard to Cyril Richards. Try to get this match. You can bet that Cyril wanted him to win. No love lost between Cyril Richards, the owner of TCW, and champion Dick Durning. I don't know why. Cyril wants anybody to take the belt off Dazzlin Dick. Here's your champion, Dazzlin Dick Durning. So he's on top. Back with more Twin City Wrestling on Eastlink.
We're back for more hard-hitting Twin City Wrestling action on Eastlink TV. Coming up later this half hour, 3 young men who are already being called future legends of wrestling take on the unpredictable boys from the Hanwell Trailer Park, the R&R Express, and their partner, Outlaw Mark Maverick. But first, a closer look at a man who could be a serious threat to heavyweight champion Dick Durning. We saw him in action last week in a very competitive match with Marcus Burke. This week, we go back a few months for a match from the archives. The Last Action hero, Wesley Pipes, makes an impression on TCW in a night his opponent won't soon forget.
Well, here's a man who is his own biggest fan, the Muscle Beast from Muscle Beach. The Last Action hero, Wesley Pipes. A man we've seen before in tag team action. A team called the Last Action Heroes. He was partnered up with Pat Persuase. They came out on the losing end a few too many times, and according to Wesley Pipes, he got rid of Persuase. Dumped him like a bag of garbage. I don't know if that's really the case, or if Persuase decided he didn't want to deal with the massive ego of the big bald guy. Maybe we'll never know for sure. The fans are on his case. He says he dropped the 200-pound bag of garbage and he doesn't need him with pipes like those. Wesley Pipes walks around as though everybody loves him. I think he's just wired wrong. He's got some kind of mismatch in his head that makes him think that everybody who's booing him is secretly loving him.
Cut my music. Listen, sweetheart. Take a picture of my face. You, right there. So when you get home, you can put it over your boyfriend's face and know what it's like to be satisfied by a real man.
Stay classy, Pipes.
You shut up, kid, or I'll beat up your dad. I'm gonna knock the rest of your teeth out. I hope you're wearing your Depends. I hope you're wearing your Depends.
What is to be gained from yelling at the crowd?
Now tonight, I take on my biggest challenge yet. The biggest man in the TCW locker room. So get him out here so I can show you why I'm the best.
Well, who will Wesley Pipes be facing? The biggest man in the TCW locker room, he says.
And his opponent this evening, weighing in at 175 pounds. 100? Hailing from St. John's, New Brunswick, Michael Rave.
Who? Michael Rave. That's who Pipes thinks is the biggest man in the locker room. That's the man who's inspiring a look of fear on Wesley Pipes' face right now. Like I said, I don't think this guy is wired quite right. He's wired to fight. I don't think he's wired to think straight. Well, here's Michael Rave from St. John, New Brunswick. Fresh-faced young kid. Looks like he's in decent shape. And he can probably wrestle. Could give Wesley Pipes here a run for his money. We'll have to find out. Now, if you're wondering why the referee is putting his hands all over the wrestlers, it is, well, partly tradition and partly for safety. The referee's job is to make sure that it's a safe and fair contest between these two guys. He's going to check the boots, make sure that there is nothing abrasive or sharp on the edges. We'll check the knee pads and elbow pads and trunks to make sure that nobody's carrying anything untoward in there. The referee is satisfied both guys are ready to fight, checks with them, asks for the bell. Michael Rave's trying to get the crowd fired up and behind him. Looks like he could use all the help he can get. They lock up in the middle of the ring, and Rave probably instantly has a headache. looks like a mismatch on paper. We know that Wesley Pipes is an enormous guy. We know how hard he hits. We've seen this before in tag team action. We know little about Michael Rave. That doesn't really matter, though. On any given night, any guy can win. Anything could happen. Well, he's got a body on him. Might not be as enormous as Wesley Pipes. May not be a muscle beast from St. John. Suggests a test of strength might be good. Wesley Pipes says, how about we do a push-up contest instead? Well, he thinks he's ready now. He just needed to get a bit of a pump. They lock knuckles. Michael Rave has suddenly found a way to gain an advantage on Wesley Pipes without having to throw a single shot. Catches him with an arm drag. Runs at him, comes off the ropes, throws a boot, takes the big man down. Would have been wise to follow up with something else. Could be a second too late here, though. Almost clotheslines him with his leg to take Wesley Pipes down. Unable to get more than a 1 count. Rave has some momentum here. Hops up on the big man's shoulders, gives him a couple punches. Pulls him over with a rana. Into a wheelbarrow. Oh my goodness. I don't know whether Pipes scouted that or just felt out of instinct, but he just pushed this kid's face into the mat. Silencing the crowd. Pipes tries to fight out of a hold and is nearly broken in half by a brutal forearm from the Muscle Beast.
Get off the ropes. 1, 2. Back away. Tell your son to back away.
Boy, that shot, those forearm shots virtually suck the air out of the crowd. It is scary. Oh, it is frightening how hard this man hits. I don't know if it translates on television, but here at the Sportsplex in Dartmouth, it's like hearing a barking dog. It just scares you how hard this man hits. Up on the shoulders. Ooh. Throws him off with an elbow on the way down. I've never seen that happen before. Wesley Pipes takes a moment on the ropes to admire himself. Pipes goes for the pin. I don't think he should have let Michael Rave have that second or two to recover there. He may have very well had him knocked out with that elbow. The way Wesley Pipes was hitting Rave in the chest there, it's almost like the heart punch of the legendary Ox Baker. Such hard shots to the pectoral muscles that can cause the heart to skip out of rhythm. Wesley Pipes is just throwing this kid around. Rave doesn't look like he's going to give up, though. There's a lot of fight left in this kid. Pipes moves in to pick him up. Thought for a second poor Michael Rave's head was going to come right into our laps. It's the ref's job to get Pipes out of the corner. Again, I don't know if that translates to your TV set, but that's just terrifying how hard Wesley Pipes hits. You have to come out and see it in person to appreciate this. Rave finds some strength and bravery to come back, but is cut off. Pipes takes Rave out of the corner with a snapmare, setting him up for something. Flips over him, yanking on the neck. That should be enough to finish him off. Only a 2 count. I'm sure Pipes is thinking, why does this kid just not quit? But Michael Rave... You have to ask how much sense does it make for Michael Rave to keep taking this kind of punishment? He hasn't moved since that last elbow. And Pipes takes advantage of that, just stands and flexes. Looked like Raves just came back to consciousness while he was being stood on. Pipes takes the kid into the corner, whips him across the ring. Rave up and over, but unfortunately lands on Pipes' shoulder. Comes down in a power slam. And no. Wesley Pipes is as surprised as anybody that wasn't the end of the match. Wants the ref to count faster. If we've learned anything in the past few weeks on Twin City Wrestling, these refs are fair. They are steady with their counts. Where is Wesley Pipes going? Tells the bespectacled man in the front row that he's going to beat up his girlfriend. Wesley Pipes has no problem lifting Michael Rave onto that top rope. Rave takes the moment, plants Wesley Pipes with a DDT. This could be what he needs to turn the tide of this match. Pipes is staggered. Rave needs to follow up with something big. Ducks a clothesline off the ropes. Rains some fists down on Wesley Pipes, giving him a taste of his own medicine. Is reversed. Goes for a backdrop. Brilliant move by Michael Rave. Not enough. What an excellent move. Rave's catching a second win. Off the ropes. Lion salt. Can only get a 2 count. Can this kid catch a break? This would be a heck of an upset. Michael Rave wants something. Just wants Pipes to turn around. What's he going to do? Jumps up, but is caught into the pipe bomb. That wasn't it? Was that 2 or 3? Looks like that was just a 2 count. Wesley Pipes finishes off most of his opponents with that move, the pipe bomb. If Rave can survive that, maybe he can turn this thing around. Nope. That pump kick is called the boomstick. Wesley Pipes' specialty. Gets the 3 count. I hope this kid's okay. Michael Rave, good try.
Your winner by pinfall.
Back with more Twin City Wrestling on Eastlake.
Hi, this is Dennis Boisvert backstage at the TCW.
What? What'd you say your name was?
Boisvert. What? Boisvert. It's French. It means Greenwood.
It means Greenwood? No way. There's no way that means Greenwood.
We're from Greenwood. We've never seen you before in our lives, bud.
All right, this is Dennis backstage from TCW live. Dartmouth Sportsplex. I'm here with R&R, Mark Maverick. They're about to get into a 6-man tag match against Sexton Phoenix, Narcis Saint, and Max Power.
Hey, did you bring TCW or what?
No.
Why not?
Hey, here's where I spot. We're coming here to save you from what happened to you at Blockhouse.
But where
at
were you?
Blockhouse, we weren't invited.
We were suspended.
Just gone.
Screw suspension. Screw rules.
We've been getting suspensions in the mail. We've been getting, you gotta do this, guys. Meet us here. We'll pick you up, take you to the show from there, and it's not happening.
What do you think about that, Mark?
I think it sucks, man. I had 3 guys screw me out of being in TCW at Blockhouse.
You can't wrestle there anymore.
Well, why would you show up knowing that we're not there?
That's your own fault.
I was told you were going to be there. But the boss told me that you two were going to.
And why would you believe that, dummy?
Because I got the gas.
Anyway, the point is...
Enough is enough. Tonight, Sexton Phoenix, Pretty Boy Saint, and that power dude. You attacked him, now you gotta deal with the Owens brothers.
Well, you heard it here from the tag champs.
Oh, you heard it directly from us.
Time for our main event. This is a grudge match, signed to settle a score from a show a while back in Blockhouse, Nova Scotia. Long story short, Outlaw Mark Maverick ended up losing in a loser leaves town match. That means Maverick can't wrestle in Blockhouse anymore, and when you can't wrestle, you can't make money. For men like these, who make their living fighting in public night after night, to lose an opportunity like that is a big, big deal. Maverick is a big, big guy, and he's teamed up with the TCW Tag Team Champions in the 6-man tag team match at the TCW Sanctuary in Dartmouth. Scott Simpson is ringside for the action.
Phoenix and Max Power!
Thanks one more time, Adria. Big night here at the Dartmouth Sportsplex, affectionately known as the TCW Sanctuary. Awaiting the arrival of the future legends of wrestling. There's one of them, Max Power from St. John's, Newfoundland. Sexton Phoenix from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Narcis Saint from Hamilton, Bermuda. 2 of these 3 guys have teamed together on a regular basis. That would be Saint and Phoenix. They're joined tonight by Max Power, their young friend. They have a score to settle with a trio of guys they've run into before. Let's hear from R&R Express, who for some reason are backstage trying to fish some coins out of a vending machine.
Hey, all I know is last time, those dummies that were running around with that idiot boss that calls himself Cyril Steer attacked this guy by himself when they fired us from the building. Well, tonight, Rod's here. I'm here. Maverick's here. Red just fell right
down the aisle.
Tonight, Sexy Phoenix, Max Power,
the boss, the R&R Express, and the Outlaw.
down. Dunzo, you heard it from Rick. Come on. And never forget the R&R Express.
Who can forget the Express? There's Rick Owens with the cigarette. Rodney Owens not far behind him with a flask. There's Reg. I'm not sure who Reg is. I guess their manager. And that guy, the big dude in the cowboy. The Outlaw Mark Maverick. And he's behind this grudge match. See, there was a loser leaves town match not that long ago in Blockhouse, Nova Scotia. And apparently the Outlaw was ambushed. Ended up losing the match. He now can't wrestle in Blockhouse. He's a proud man. He's proud of his craft, proud of his cowboy heritage. He has not had the best of luck here in TCW.
I smell the booze on you from here.
Your family hates you!
Outlaw Mark Maverick has been the subject of some humiliation over the past few months at the hands of TCW owner Cyril Williams.
I don't work out in them fancy gyms either.
We found a couple of friends, if not kindred spirits, in the R&R Express. They've taken a liking to the guy, almost a father figure. Ref better call for the bell. lost control of this match before it's even started. It's hard enough for a referee to control a tag team match, let alone a six-man tag match like this with unpredictable characters like the R&R Express. 2-4. Big 2-4 on Narcis Saint. And it looks like the referee's finally restored some order here. Looks like Rick Owens from the R&R Express is going to start off the match. It's up to the other guys to figure out who's going to go in for them. Saint, Phoenix, Max Power.
Come on in, boys! Give me Master! You're up on it. All you. Well, which one is going to get in? Come on, go!
It's like a vote of 2-1 for Max Power to go in. In a match like this, with all these loud personalities, I'm almost tempted not to say anything, but I have to call the action. Owens trips Max Power and dumps him right into their own corner. That's a smart place to be. Best tag team strategy is always to keep control of your man, keep him in your corner, make frequent tags. Rick lands a knee right in the midsection of Max Power, takes a second one. R&R's off to a good start.
Light it up! He's been drinking deer meat all day.
Sexton Phoenix is complaining that the R&R reek of booze and cigarettes. I'm not saying he's wrong. Owens up on the second rope. Comes off with an elbow. Max Power was wise to move out of the way of that one. That could have spelled the end for him instead. Rick Owens inflicted an injury on himself. An arm wringer follows up on that. Trying to take advantage of the early injury to Rick Owens' elbow. Power brings him off the ropes. And Rick catches a knee from Narcis Saint, turns around, momentarily distracted, finds himself at the receiving end of a clothesline from Max Power. Beautiful camera work by number 16. Double axe handle to the upper back of Rick Owens. Narcis Saint is tagged in. And he lands a boot to the ribs. Ah! Right into the eyes. Some sneaky tactics. Greasy, says somebody in the audience. Is absolutely right. If you want to find out when the next TCW show is coming to town, check out TwinCityWrestling.com. Narcis Saint, who we've seen in some epic encounters in this series already, delivers a beautiful snap suplex to Rick Owens. Tags in his longtime partner, Sexton Phoenix, who drops an elbow. Phoenix follows up with a boot to the ribs. So far we've seen this team targeting Rick Owens' ribs and elbow. They're taking them apart piece by piece.
This is how it's done!
More hand to the back. Rod Maverick trying to get the crowd behind Rick. The crowd loves him, obviously. Big personality. Not the healthiest of lifestyles. Phoenix is able to lure Rodney into the ring. The referee is doing his job, trying to get Rod out. But meantime, on the other side of the ring, the ref is not seeing Max Power, Narcis Saint, strangling Rick Owens. Snapmare into a chin lock. Sexton Phoenix has all the experience in the world here. He knows exactly what it's going to take to beat Rick Owens. Rick, we all know, is a heavy smoker. Probably susceptible to the kind of moves that would restrict his breathing, like that work on his ribs, like a chin lock like that. Would have been a great time for Phoenix to tag out, as I said. Frequent tags, keeping in your corner. Said he wasn't quite done with him yet.
I'm fair play. I'm gonna play by the rules. You're a cheater, Sexton. A cheater.
Phoenix maintaining that he plays by the rules just after standing on the throat of Rick Owens. Takes Rick off the ropes. Rick reverses into a redneck bump. Rick is so damaged right now, he's unable to follow up on such a big move. Rolling ever so slowly toward his corner where his partners, Rod and Outlaw Mark Maverick, want the tag. Rod gets the tag, comes in, delivers a clothesline to Max Power, one to Narcis Saint. There's Sexton Phoenix. He gets hit with an elbow. Power gets an elbow. There's Saint still on the ground. Can't forget about him. Max Power punches Rodney in the gut. Double axe handle to the back. Maverick sneaks in from behind, dumps Max Power over the top rope. He gets dumped out by Sexton Phoenix. Stunner from Rick into a neck breaker from Rod. Doing some double teaming of their own on Sexton Phoenix, who's lying on his back in the middle of the ring. R&R better keep an eye on Narcis Saint. He's right there, drops like a missile onto the back of Rodney Owens. Looking for a tag, but catches a low blow. Sexton Phoenix rolls Rodney up. Referee turns around as Rick is dragged out of the ring and slugged by Max Power. Did we get a 3 count? It looks like it. Sexton Phoenix weasels out of the ring.
Ladies
Even
and
the boys
gentlemen,
from the trailer
the
park
winners of
thrashing
this
around.
contest, Narcis
They run off like thieves
Sexton
in the night.
Phoenix and Max Power.
Grabs a refreshing swig from the flask, completely oblivious to what just happened. What do you say we get these guys to battle each other again? Soon. Tag team championships on the line, perhaps. Phoenix and Saint, R&R Express. R&R says Maverick's letting him down. Tried hard for us. We'll get him next time.